Alright, welcome to the part 9 of this Nioh 2 Featherless speedrun tutorial. We're on the second DLC, which is gonna be the longest one. And we're gonna go to Suzune in Flames. This is pretty much just a boss fight. So it's gonna be pretty short. But it is quite a dangerous boss fight. Thankfully we are able to kinda cheese the boss fight quite a bit. Okay, so let's go. Alright, so now that we started with Shirohami, or with the brute spirit right here, I'm gonna heal, and we're gonna just, I'm gonna explain it right here. There's no need to buff for this boss, we're actually gonna just use the corruption at the start. But apart from that, we're going to use 2 large spirit stones or equivalent for the full Amrita meter, which I forgot to do actually, but it's fine. I'll do it in a moment. And then just switch to the axe, obviously. And we want to punish her mainly by doing Titanic Strength. You're gonna see this better with examples because it's pretty tricky to just explain what's the openings and all that stuff. But apart from those, when she summons a yokai like Kasha or Mizuki or the 3 Gozuki, Mizuki, whatever, we want to go behind her and then do Rumbling Earth followed by what is it called? Titanic Strength. And now what we want to do is punish her so we get her to 0 key. So we break his guard, basically, or his key. And then just do Brute, okay? Just pop Yokai Shift and grapple her. After that, I want you to do just a filler Brute counter, followed by the moment that you see her like standing up, a parry, a Brute parry, and then you continue doing regular attacks, Yatsu no Kami, all the stuff, like everything that you see fit. We're not gonna explore anything totally new from this fight, so yeah, let's go with that. So we are a bit more limited from before. We have less Amrita items, so I had to look for it a bit more, but it's fine. Alright, so right at the start, as you can see, she summons the 3 Gozukis. Okay, there we go. Okay, so unfortunately I didn't do it properly. Remember that you can parry, so that's another thing. There we go. So the fight wasn't good, but you can see that you have a lot of response to everything with a brute counter, with a brute yokai shift. So let's do it again, okay? See you in a moment. Alright, welcome back. Here's the example 2. Okay, there's a better punish, but of course RNG is not on my side. Okay, you can also do high stance strong attack. Has some benefits for sure. There we go. Yokai shift. As soon as you see movement, you can start countering. Parrying. Oh, come on. You can use Yorimitsu as a backup as well. That was very messy. I'll do it again. I'll do one more time. It's kind of hard to just explain everything because this boss is like very random. You just need to try to punish things. as you see them. So yeah. Alright. That's a punishable attack, but you know, it requires you to not be unlucky like I am. Okay. Pretend that you see that one, run your nerf into his quack. Her back, rather. And yeah, do that. As soon as it breaks, yokai shift. You can do like, there we go, parry as soon as you see movement. There we go, that's good, that's perfect. That's a good fight. Like I said, there's tons of RNG on this fight. There's not really like anything worthwhile getting, honestly, but it's whatever. Now, change to Nekomata, okay, and go forward. And you can start doing some menuing for the armor, you know, updating your armor if you want. There's one other menu that I haven't really gotten into that you should actually get into if you haven't gotten into yet, obviously. You can do it at any other time where you don't really know what else to do. But now it's necessary to do it. Don't worry, we have time. We have time to do it. It's not a slow menu or anything like that. Okay, so yeah. Just dash around as usual. And go to skill customization, sorry. Just to set it up a little bit. You can heal here. Go through the fire. Don't worry, you have more than enough HP. And over here, sword key, merciful slice, okay? You can do it faster than I did. I pressed X when I should have pressed square. And now get this shrine. This is not the last shrine of the level, but it is the last shrine of the level that you can get fast. So, 10 magic, remember what I said before? Rest on heart, okay? Should be, most of the times at least, 16 heart, 10 magic, okay? This is just to get enough extra key, okay? So you put that there. And now, if you remember, we already learned Barrier Talisman and Lightning Sub Talisman, okay? We're gonna learn, we're gonna ready them now. So yeah, Lightning Stop, and as you can see, 2 Barrier Talismans, okay? Barrier Talisman, you can put it there. And the Lightning Stop, I would recommend putting it here. Okay, just remember that you're not gonna have the extra elixir if you did that right there. It's just to not cover anything else. Okay, this is the only other place because we still have some use for the water talisman. But yeah, it is not super necessary to set it up. You can also use it in the menu. We're not gonna use it in mid-combat or anything like that. But yeah, I'll just put it here, okay? Alright, so once you do that, obviously we want to go to the boss. And you know, there are several statics that you can follow on this next boss, but I recommend first of all switching to this menu, because we're gonna set this up. Right here, use the Red Spire Lily, so you don't get staggered, and you have something of use while you wait for that to happen. And just rush to the boss. And now, the order is not really important, like it's not super important. You can either buff with purity and then with Barrier, or the other way around. When I'm just gonna buff with purity first. So, what you want to do here is do one buff here, then drop down, do the other buff, dash backwards a little bit, and then punish the slam, or you know, the jump attack, and then wait for an attack that you can actually punish with Morning Moon. Okay. Now, once you have done that and you have applied purity to this boss, your main objective is to try to punish as much as possible the boss with Sword Key. You know, remember that we just got Masterful Slice on Sword Key on low stands, for example. You don't need to have it on low stands, but I recommend having it there. I think it's the most handy one. So yeah, at the moment that it's on very low key or red key, you use Kasha, so he gets confused and all that stuff. Then do Morning Moon, Key Pulse flash attack, and then I want you to do high stance strong attack. Okay. And then if necessary attack again, but the moment that you get Kasha again, just use it. Okay, and then use a quick Heaven on Earth, and then that should finish the fight with a grapple. Okay, you just finish it with a grapple if necessary. So let's go. Alright, buff with whatever other buff that you didn't do. Watch that for sure. Okay, that's a good punish attack. Block. Okay. That right there. Come in for the dodge. Okay, that was a bit too close for comfort. Okay, there we go. And now everything is set up. Pip holes and Kasha, then Morning Moon. Flash attack. High stance strong attack, Kasha again, and then you can do a full Feather on Earth, and the Scooter is dead. Okay. It takes more practice than many of the other fights for this one. It's a very tricky fight because of you know, all the jumps, all the slowdown, and like it's not a very enjoyable fight, honestly. Unless you get lucky and it works like really quickly. But yeah, let's proceed to the next one. Not super important to pick up everything, but you know, an extra is an extra, right? And with that, we're going to the last main mission of the second DLC. Alright. Palace of the Damned. This has 3 bosses, of which I would say none of them are particularly hard. Probably the first one is the hardest one, but you know, depends a lot on RNG, of course. So you'll see. You can use Kekai here, you know, Barrier Talisman. Get this. More Red Spire Lily. Speaking of which, that's the thing that we're gonna use next. If you had any kind of thing spending with the skill tree, now it's your time to set it up on that one and then wrap it with this one. Okay, so like for example that's all that I had pending to get. Your Siflin proficiency is not consistent on every run. Sometimes you'll get more earlier than others, but overall it's gonna be like one skill point more or less. So now we're gonna buff again with Purity and with Kekai, the sword. Purity the sword, and then Kekai the other one. And then right now we're just gonna rush to the boss. Morning Moon. Flax 2. Dodge and attack. Okay, make sure to not get hit by that. And just do the same thing as before. But it's gonna be easier. Now, okay. Right now, after using the Kasha, you switch to the axe. There we go. And do a mat spinner. Or followed by a Kasha if you can. If you cannot, you might need to actually do something else. But yeah, grapple. Use Kasha again if the White Tiger is not dead. Okay? That's White Tiger. I'll do it again. And this time I'll try to explain a bit more the fight while I get there again. Okay? So, basically that's the overall scheme of the fight. You know, all the strat is just rush to the boss, do Morning Moon, dodge an attack, then punish whenever possible with a sword key, and the moment that you get rid of all his key is the moment that you use Kasha, and then switch to the axe and do mat spinner and all that good stuff. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that it's always gonna play like that. Like, you saw it. You saw how I was using. Well, not using. I ended up using feral counter. White Tiger has two kinds of feral, not feral, brute burst attacks. Sorry. One is the one that you saw, which is frontal, and the other one is more indirect. And when in that one he spins around more, so that one is harder to read. But you know, the idea is to counter both of them, like, or you know, any of them when they happen. Now that was very unlucky, as you could see. Got very unlucky with that RNG on the Oboroguruma, yes. And yeah, Purity, Kekai or Barter. And now we're gonna do it again. I'm gonna try to be a bit more optimal with the fight. Okay, you can do that, but it's more risky, okay? If you don't have a lot of practice, I would not recommend that. Okay. Okay, that's a punish attack. Same thing as before. Mat spinner. Okay, I'm not gonna get enough. Yeah, I got really unlucky here. So just do this, okay? Just dodge an attack and go for this. Now full, pivot or nerf. Do a couple more attacks if necessary. Then you can use another Kasha. Don't worry about using Anima. It's not a big deal. But yeah, you saw two different outcomes. You know, two different kinds of situations. But yeah, don't worry about the anima, because if you do need the anima, you just get this, and that's it. You don't need it. If you have the anima high, just skip that. Don't worry. But if you have it low, then I would recommend getting that. Now this shrine is kind of peculiar, because this is kind of like a safety shrine, but it's more like a setup shrine. I'll explain more in a moment. But basically, if you don't take that shrine, it is harder to predict what's gonna happen in the next room. So in the next room, I'm gonna try to see where one enemy in particular is. I'll use the photo mode in order to make you see that. Okay, so right here, as you can see, that enemy is to the left instead of to the right, but that's not always going to be the case. Sometimes it will be right, sometimes it will be left. You just need to watch for it. If he's on the left, go to the right. If he's on the right, go to the left. Okay? You don't need to use photo mode, it's just that I'm showing it with the photo mode this time. And in a run, you would just look for it manually by moving the camera and the character. Don't worry, you have time. Now, what I want you to use is the Lightning Stop Talisman. Okay, it's gonna give you a buff on against lightning. And okay, so now we're just running past Nioh. Get hit, dodge, dodge. Okay? Something like that. If you feel like you're not gonna be able to dodge everything or anything, like you could use the yokai shift. That's what I do for level 1 runs, for example. Yeah. Otherwise, I would recommend just sticking to dodging. If you get the timing down, it shouldn't be a big issue. Alright, so let's go. For this next boss, all that we're gonna need is the water. Oh, come on. The water debuff on the axe. And honestly, there's not a lot to say about this fight. If you get the burst attack, try to burst counter. Otherwise, just punish the attacks with either high stance, strong attack, or titanic strength. Okay. All right. You can get the red attack that you normally get at the start. It's okay. Okay, bro. Wow. Yeah, get fucked, bro. Let's do it again. Okay, so this guy overall is not very hard, but it does have some problematic attacks here and there. Like the Luminous Blade. Or this attack. Yeah, make sure to dodge that, at least partially, so you don't get hit by the big attack. You're gonna die if you don't. Okay, just do that, I guess. Why not? Luminous Blade is another one. I'm gonna slow down, so that's why like things are bad. Well, yeah, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna switch weapons to do that. Now I'm gonna buff with this, you know, the Lightning Stop, Purity, and Kekai. Now. At this point, the Lightning Gods of Yomi will spawn, and all that I need you to take into account is that your main punishes are just gonna be Heaven and Earth for big punishes and high strength strong attack. Okay, and then maybe some Titanic Strength. Apart from that, you want to use Kasha. This fight is more about like knowing when to punish more than anything. Has a lot of like really annoying stuffs, but yeah, Kekai is very important to get rid of all the yokai pools that she summons. Lightning Stop is basically you know, just in case you get hit by anything, and Purity, I don't really have to explain it, right? Okay, so yeah. Heaven and Earth, what's that? Okay, so this is a Heaven and Earth kind of punish right there. It's a high stance, strong attack, punish. Another one. There we go, that's what you want to see. You want to see Lightning goes to get stagger. Oh, come on, that's terrible. Yeah. You can risk a little bit more if that happens, but you know, it's not super recommendable. I just did it because I can. Okay, but with barrier talisman again, make sure to burst counter that. Comes out faster than one might think. And yeah, purity again, it's a good idea. Okay, dodge. And yeah, watch out because she can follow that up with two kinds of attacks. Yeah. Kasha, there we go, that's perfect. Last Suzune attack is good, and she's dead. Okay, I'll do it again, okay? And I'll be explaining more. So yeah, this fight is a pain in the ass, honestly, because you're completely up to whatever she decides to do. And the Kasha decides to... like, she just decides to get very staggered with the Kasha, which is bad. Because normally you just want bosses to get the stagger, but not get, like, away from you all the time. But, you know, she gets staggered all the time by that. So that's pretty bad. Bath with water for Ashiya Doman. Okay. Luminous Blade, not very nice. That attack is also pretty dangerous, as I said before. There we go. Be careful with that burst attack because it's a bit weird, the timing on that, honestly. Ah yeah, he's dead. Now lightning stop, purity, barrier. Oh, I got hit by that. It's okay. I'm gonna nerf. Wait for an attack. Okay, that's a big AoE. It's okay. That's not cool. I'm gonna nerf. There we go. Can do follow up to that with a high stance Suzune attack. Now this is something that you don't want to see actually, because it's very annoying. You know, all the clouds everywhere. It's very fucking annoying. But it's fine. Let's buff again with purity and kick high slash barrier. Yeah, now that's an annoying attack as well. It's fine. Yeah, that attack is something you can pair with Brute, but I do not normally see it. So yeah. It's pretty annoying. There we go. Remember that you still have access to this if you need to, but you know, I ran out of barrier talisman, so that's a bit annoying. And yeah, I'll do it again actually. I'll do it again because that was very bad. Alright. Yeah, that was a bit of an early counter actually. But yeah, every time that you see that, be prepared to see this as well. Him like backing off. If he manages to back off, by the way, he will do the lightning explosion. That's very annoying. Yeah, he's being like insanely defensive right now. Come on. Anyways. Lightning stop. Purity. Kekai. Heaven and Earth. You can get in quickly if you do that, but it's gonna be riskier to get in like that. And yeah, that's annoying follow-up to that attack. Okay, get in, you can punish with Heaven and Earth this. And yeah, just get in even more. There we go, that's perfect. Okay, gonna buff again. And the Kekai. Yeah, make sure to not get hit by something like that. Counter. Make sure to do that for sure. That attack, by the way, as you could probably notice right away, gets rid all of her debuffs, so it's pretty annoying. Anyway, she's dead. As you can see, it's a pretty messy fight, but you know, it's not terrible either. Anyways, let's continue. Let's go to the last DLC and finish this. Now I want you to be ready with this. We're gonna switch the what is it called? The accessories on the next part, right at the start. Because there's one important accessory that we're gonna get right now. Also, before I finish, by the way, that was a Soul Core box. I'm gonna show it to you right now. Soul Core box right there. Omnius Path, defense bonus and all that stuff, but the important thing is Omnius Pact, okay? Use your capabilities even when you don't have enough anima and all that stuff. I won't get into the details, I'll just explain that next day, you know, next part. Okay, so before I move on, okay, or you know, while moving on to the first samurai, I'll explain one thing. You might be noticing that for some fights lately, I'm getting less precise with what to do. That is not a coincidence. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm just, you know, the less precise my instructions are, the more you need to adapt to the boss fight and the more you need to learn the actual boss fight. Because we lack, at least at the moment, we lack the strats for it, and honestly, right now I don't really see that, because some bosses are just behave differently, and they don't really they are not as consistent, or they don't have so many clear ways to do. But you know, hopefully I'm clear enough where you know more or less what to do each time, and with practice, you know, the rest comes naturally. Okay. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next and final part, the first samurai. All right. Bye bye. See you.